I have now entered a diabolical pattern of getting one night of sleep and then one all-nighter, so I alternate days where I sleep. I only sleep every other day. I'm a goddamn cryptid when it comes to sleep. And I know you're probably tired of hearing me yap about my insomnia. The reason I'm mentioning it now is because it's 6 a.m. I've obviously been up all night again. But the reason why I keep bringing it up is because it's kind of like Voldemort's name, where you gotta take away its power. So this is me calling out my insomnia, hoping that, you know, if enough time passes, I'll start to make some headway being able to sleep normally again. I'm also trying a bunch of, like, medication now. Not working, huh? It doesn't seem to be panning out all that well. I just spit everywhere. This has nothing to do with the topic, by the way. You've got eyes, and I assume you're literate. You know what the topic is. It's a huge YouTube issue that apparently has just started up and people have learned about. According to a bunch of YouTubers, there's been an abnormal drop in views on all of their channels, allegedly a site-wide decline in views, seemingly out of nowhere, and they've been doing a lot of exploring in the data, and they believe they've found the culprit. A YouTuber named Josh Strife Hayes just posted a video explaining all of it and showing all of the data, which is apparently corroborated by a ton of other channels experiencing very similar circumstances. And I'll go ahead and address the obvious explanation that people are absolutely going to be like Poindextering, pushing up their glasses. Well, actually, this is the reason. They fell off. Like, that's going to be what most people typically default to. Like, there's probably no YouTube issue. These channels are probably just falling off or posting some lackluster content that people aren't interested in. Or you could easily just point to the time of year that it is, you know, back to school and all that. And that's not like some kind of fucking outlandish hypothesis that'll have you, you know, thrown into a padded cell at Arkham Asylum. Like, that sounds reasonable. But if you look at the data here, it's not really supported, because nothing changed in like the type of content and all of that until one day in particular, across the board on every channel, August 10th. That is Judgment Day for YouTube channels, where the views just got fucking smited, and it seems like something changed on the back end that has now led to this net decrease in views for pretty much every channel on the platform.
I want you to specifically look at your views from device type in August, specifically around the August 9th to 12th period, because that is the date range the desktop views specifically fall out of correlation with the other device types and become consistently lower. 12,000 per day drop to 6,000 per day over 4 days and then remain at that. The other channels I've asked to check their analytics also corroborated this same drop. August 10th shows a substantial and sustained reduction in views from desktop source only, while not showing a correlation reduction from other device types.
This is why I said that explanation of, oh, it's just the time of year, or, well, they must have just been posting cringe on main or some shit, just doesn't really work here. Because when you look at the analytics, the views stayed the same on device types, except for one, which doesn't make any sense if the explanation is they were making bad content, shit no one wanted to see. Because if that was the case, you would see a reduction in views on all device types there, not just a single isolated one. He is showing here that all the views maintain the same consistency on all devices except computer post August 10th. So unmasking the Scooby-Doo villain here of less views, we get something pretty fishy where it seems like they must have changed something on the back end when it comes to computer desktop views specifically. Computer views on post August 10th take a drastic decline, and they stay that way. They don't go back into the same pattern, the same correlation that they previously were. Josh Strife Hayes showcases it with his channel, and then he mentions other channels also corroborated that as well. So naturally I wanted to take a peek at mine. I don't typically pay attention to views, so I didn't even realize that this was like a huge thing going on in the first place with like a reduced views out of nowhere. I set up the process exactly how he described, and I got very, very similar results to what he showcased. Let's take a peek under the hood here. I did exactly what Josh said, 90 days device type views, and everything follows the same correlation that it usually does. And then August 10th, the next day, bang, bingo, bango, bongo, the computer desktop views get banished to the Shadow Realm, and it's all cattywampus. It goes tits up. But I thought, I never really look at this in the first place So maybe this is just something where it kind of ebbs and flows. Like maybe some stinkers get farted out from me and people don't want to see that. You know, it is what it is. So I decided to go to the last 365 days. And no, it seems like the trend is pretty consistent. Like these usually do kind of stay in like the same general ranges together until you can see the tail here. August 10th, and now all of a sudden everything's changed. It's a whole new ball game. I don't think that this is a natural thing that just happened where every single channel, every single viewer on YouTube just decided to sell their computers and just watch YouTube exclusively on tablets or TVs. I'd be very surprised to hear about this mass exodus from PCs. Like, you know what? Time to hang up the RGB. I'm getting myself a fucking Kindle and I'm only gonna fucking read books and I'll watch YouTube on it. I don't think that's what's happening here. This really seems like there is some kind of internal change at YouTube that has caused this. I don't think there's been an official word from YouTube on this at all. Like, maybe it goes deeper than this, and maybe it has to do with, like, how bad the platforms become with the inshitifying of, like, the recommended section. Maybe they're changing how they, like, even feed viewers videos in the first place. Though, if that was the case, then you would still see a reduction in views on all device types, not just a single one. So that wouldn't really explain that. I don't know. It is very odd. It definitely smells of some horseradish.
Now I can use specific videos I've released to show this switch again. If your channel is focused on shorts, follow this specific video by video comparison to see the correlation switch for yourself. And I can use videos from both restricted mode and normal mode to show that restricted mode probably has nothing to do with this. The last video before this August 10th switch happens. And my next video, Was It Good? Neverwinter Nights, Hordes of the Underdark, released on August 21st. And that was the first video ever on my channel to have a higher view count from mobile devices than from desktop PCs. Here is the complete graph showing every video I have ever released on the channel. The blue line is desktop views, the green is mobile. Desktop views have been consistently higher than mobile views within correlation, except from August 10th onwards. If we look at the last 90 days again, you can see the desktop view dip.
Which is something you could see on my channel as well. He mentions that he doesn't believe restricted mode has any role to play in this, and the data that he presents here is very interesting. I think Josh Strife-Hayes has done a great job with this investigation here. He has narrowed in on the date and also the culprit, which is desktop views. What changed? Did they change the way they calculate the views, or did they change the way they even feed people videos on desktop? Like, maybe there's a chance if you're a desktop YouTube enthusiast, maybe you do not get the videos from the pages you subscribe to. Maybe YouTube just decides not to push them on desktop users. Who's really to say? But you can see in the data that that is where it is coming from. There is something that happened on August 10th that it seems like every single channel is experiencing. Josh Strife-Hayes does make a mention that it doesn't seem to matter for shorts content, like short form content. That doesn't seem to like play by these rules here. It's only for long form videos. If you're a YouTuber, I encourage you to check your own analytics on this here to see if it's the same story. I imagine it probably will be. It seems very consistent for every channel so far. I would be surprised to see the trend be bucked at this point. It seems like there definitely is something that happened on August 10th at YouTube. But who knows? Maybe this is like a wild coinkydink that so many channels have the exact same thing happen on the exact same day. I guess we'll see. Maybe YouTube will shed some light on this topic. Anyway, just wanted to put this on your radar a little bit. Great work to Josh Strife-Hayes. And yeah, that's really about it. See ya.